Alright guys, so I've hit the 500 mile mark on my RZR, miles, not kilometers. So I decided to do my first review on it. I think I figured out the clutch and belt issue, hopefully. We'll find out. It did good. I put almost 300 miles on this last trip on this belt, and it seemed to hold up pretty good. So what we'll do is I'll, like I just showed you a bunch of clips of it riding there, and that was basically what we're in: mud, water, rocks, a little bit of straightaways, some fast stuff. Nothing crazy, nothing like Michigan really. A couple spots where you could hold it wide open. I did hit over 80 mile an hour with it, no belt slippage at all. And I'll explain to you what I did to fix that problem, hopefully too. So I'll switch it around here, show you the machine, what it looks like after 500 miles. Looks the same. I'll do. So if you guys have any questions about how I keep my stuff so clean, I have a video on how I power wash it and what I do. It's nothing major. Just got to use the right soaps and WD-40. It keeps everything looking new. Like in this, when I wash this right now, this is, I don't even hand wash it. This is just foamer with some good soap, power washer. And I just spray all the metal down with WD-40. Obviously keep it off your disc brakes. So I'm not sure my last video had everything on it. I'm not going to put much more on this machine. So I got the roof I made out of aluminum. It's truck bed liner I used on it, just for keeps all the scratches from the branches and everything. I got my 32 inch, I believe it's a 32 inch curved light bar. It actually fit perfect under my roof. That mounted really nice. And then I got my small light bar there in case I don't want to run the big one if I'm just running around the county here. And that's about it, guys. I got the 5 points, which didn't come with this like I had in my other videos. I say I had to order these. The 150 bucks a harness, because it's the deal they gave me because there's no incentives on the machine. Polaris did give me a nice little belt bag though, and it fits nice behind these seats. So that's what I'll go over a couple things now that I know about this machine. One, it handles really good, and I will show you guys this. I wish I had the GoPro on, but I didn't. I don't know if you can see I scratched the bottom of the front here pretty good. It's really hilly up in northern Ontario, and we were on some back logging roads, and I was probably going 75 mile an hour, and I seen a nice big hill coming and launched it. And I used every bit of suspension on this machine. I actually bottomed it out into a second hill. Like, I thought I was crashing. I thought I was writing it off when it was brand new, but this thing soaked it up. It was pretty impressive actually how this thing soaked up that jump. Like I launched, the guys behind me said I was airborne for at least 10-15 feet in the air. When I come down, I come into the second hill, and this thing, it bottomed, but I mean, it soaked it right up. It scratched the front pretty good underneath. But I mean, I was very impressed with the shocks on this thing. And this isn't even the Ultimate. This is just your standard shocks on it. So the Ultimate, I bet you it wouldn't even have bottomed out with that electronic suspension, the Dynamax, I think it's called. Another thing is it handles really good. So far, I'm gonna say, guys, I'm pretty impressed. I do kind of miss the 5-speed and the shifting a little bit. But I mean, the horsepower, this machine's it's totally different than Rzr XP. So I don't know, like, how to explain it. Now, what I did for the clutches, I pulled it all apart. I used a Scotch-Brite pad and brake clean and cleaned it all. And I'm telling you, it must have been oil from the factory. And it fixed it. This thing does not have no belt slippage or anything. I didn't do no damage to it on the trip. It's still got a little sand shaking out of everywhere. However, I did sink it in a big hole. I'm thinking I was sitting in the hole, so it might have seeped in through the belt cover or something a little bit. I doubt it. What I think happened is, from the tire spinning, I had it in four low, and I was on it pretty hard. I think it flung a lot of water into here, and I had to drain. I threw all the codes on. I had to drain some water out of the belt area, and that was it. I mean, I can't blame the machine. It was deep. It was up past it was up over the bottom of the seats. That's how deep this thing was in the water. Other than that, I never had an issue with it the whole time. So basically, guys, my 500 mile review is, here, I'll switch this thing around. So yeah, like I said, great machine so far. Nothing broke, no issues. The only issues, like I said, I had the belt lights come on. I was in some pretty serious water. and I'm thinking it could be a flaw where you just got to put some like the fender flares on here just to keep the water from flipping up. So I don't know, that could be solve the problem. But I was also sitting in the water for a good minute before buddy of mine hooked the winch up to pull it out. So I couldn't get out either because I had to keep the throttle going because the exhaust was completely underwater. But like I said, other than that, I used that suspension full on. This thing I couldn't, but like I thought it was done. I thought I was writing it off. I was glad I had the harnesses on, wearing helmets, because I thought this thing was crashing. And it hit that second hill and just soaked it right up. Didn't even like it. It felt hard, but I mean it was a pretty smooth impact for what I thought it was going to happen. But that was me getting used to the power too. I hammered on this thing and it launched off the first hill. Very, very impressed with how it landed. And then the ride, compared to my YZ, it's obviously a smoother ride, a plusher ride. It's got you know, the better longer travel shocks on it. Yeah, so that's about it. I can't really say much more. Like, I figured out the belt issue, I think, and that's it, guys. It's a good machine. So if you're watching this still debating on ordering one or getting one, I would say go for it. But do what I did, and I should have did this right off the bat, is pulled those clutches off, because they're rushing all these machines out right now. I understand it. Like, people are waiting and getting impatient. So I think, like, I don't know if the dealers do this or not in their prep, but they should have pulled the clutches off and cleaned them themselves. Just, there had to have been oil on it. That's the only thing to explain it. But now it seems good to go. Like I said, I had over 80 miles an hour without an issue. So we'll see, what time will tell, I guess, what's going to happen with it. So stay tuned. And I wanted to do some riding this weekend. It just poured rain the other night and soaked everything again. So that's a negative. Good thing is they're opening up the borders here soon. So that'll be good. I can finally get crossed back over to the States and do some good trail riding in the sand. It's mainly why I bought the big turbo, was for riding Michigan trails. And that's it, guys. I have another video coming up after this one of the truck I just bought. It's a Chevy High Country 22. So check that out when I get that in. Don't forget to subscribe. And to all my subscribers, thanks for subscribing. Like I said before, my channel's growing fast, and I'm going to try and put a lot more content out on everything. Snowmobile season's coming up, which is good. I'm actually looking at a 21 XCR 850. Hopefully I can get that deal to go through. And yeah, so that's it on this machine today. So again, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. It's on the bottom right hand corner there on your screen. Thanks.